I decided on the morning of December 17th that I was going to go to Miami to attend the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight in person. I've been going back and forth about it. Number one, I'm a fan of Anthony Joshua. I know somewhat about Jake Paul, but based on my knowledge of the two, I just felt it was a tremendous mismatch. Anthony Joshua, he's my favorite fighter of this current generation. Not perfect, some flaws and whatnot, things to work on, but Jake Paul, nowhere near that level. I felt that there was a chance that as the date got closer, there would be some kind of shenanigans or some kind of story, and the fight would be canceled. Or the fight would take place, and because of the disparity in capabilities, that it wouldn't be a particularly good fight. I like to travel, but Miami, I'm not a club person. I don't really drink like that. It's not a place that I would think of for vacation. But I previously attended two of Anthony Joshua's fights, the second of which was the Daniel Dubois fight, which happened to take place on my birthday in 2024. And I had a really great time with that fight. It was my first time on an international solo trip. It was a little bit nervous going, but once I got there, I had an amazing time. It was a great experience. I was really apprehensive because I felt like on the one side, it could turn out to be a great trip. And I also had the goal that, Anthony Joshua is most likely at this point going to be retiring within the next year or two. And I had this goal of I'd had a great time at his fights. They were a great experience, and I wanted to attend, if possible, the rest of his fights until he retires. So I was like, this is kind of in keeping with that. But at the same time, this is really the kind of fight I was looking forward to, or the kind of fight I was thinking about. Usually I like to get like floor seats, not ringside, but floor seats. But I really wasn't willing to pay that much for the tickets to this fight. Like my limit was $100 and something. What kind of helped to tip the scales was that in the days leading up to it, I'd gone on to ChatGPT and I just entered a prompt for it to tell me some things that I might enjoy doing, like a budget vacation for 3 or 4 days in Miami for someone who doesn't like clubs and who doesn't really drink, like who isn't really looking for the party scene, is more looking for like museums and cultural experiences. I like history, I like art. It actually gave me some pretty good suggestions. And so with that, I was like, you know what, I could probably turn this into a pretty good vacation. Got up that morning and I was like, you know what, let's just go. So I bought my tickets and I had roughly about 2.5 hours to just throw some stuff in a bag, get myself together, showered, all of that and whatnot, dressed, and be out the door on the way to the airport. Parking is now much more expensive. But I happened to do a quick Google search. It's like the stars were aligning for things to work out, and found that you can actually get really cheap parking. You just have to be a little bit creative about it. I was trying to say well, what are my other options? And it turns out that College Park Station is just one stop away from the airport. I decided, well, you know what? They have long-term parking there. I just drove to the train station, parked in the surface lot, and hopped on the train. It took about 3 minutes. I forgot to get a ticket and whatnot for my car, or to pay for the parking, to get the parking ticket. When I got to the station, I explained to one of the employees, and they were like, oh, don't worry. As long as you park in the surface lot, it's actually free. If you park in the actual garage, the covered garage, that's where you have a charge. And I think even that, it's just $8 a day. Headed into the airport, got through security very quickly. I did take my drone with me, didn't realize that I needed to take that out of my suitcase. And now I have this thing, don't know where the habit came from, but I never drink Starbucks. But whenever I go to the airport now, I feel like I have to get a Starbucks. I could be in another terminal. I'm going to go find my gate and I'm going to Starbucks. I'm going to get a chai tea latte. It's like my drink of choice now. I don't know what's happened. But anyway, I ran, got my chai tea latte, used the app on my phone to get it, got there, and it was I was sweating bullets because it was kind of coming down to the wire for boarding. And it felt like an eternity. It was probably just a few minutes. But I got my breakfast sandwich, I got my chai tea latte, so I've now got these two hot things in my hand. I've got my backpack, I've got my carry-on suitcase, and I'm booking it through the airport terminal, trying to get back to my gate. I got there and I panicked for a moment because I saw no one. just the gate agents. Door was open. I was like, oh my God, like, did I miss the flight? Is it too late? So I ran up to the gate agents. I'm all stressed and whatnot. Like, oh my God, like, I've missed my flight. Like, I missed the boarding and whatnot. Everyone's on the plane. And like, the guy turned around and he was like, calm down. We haven't even started boarding. Turns out that there was a delay in the plane coming into the airport. So while our boarding time was technically like done and we should have been taken off, the flight that had landed, they hadn't finished deplaning as yet. So I was just right on time. And they had like a very quick turnaround. We then boarded the plane. The overhead bins could really only fit like very small carry-on items. As a result, unfortunately, I had to gate check my bag. So while I had this plan for, okay, I'm going to land in Miami, I've got my carry-on, I'm traveling light this time around. Usually when I travel, it's like a different pair of Jordans for each day, a pair of shoes for the fight and stuff, flats because safety. But this time I was like, you know what, I'm packing light. I'm just going to take the one pair of sneakers. I'm going to make sure it matches all of my outfits and just the one pair of shoes. Everything is fitting in the carry-on. My electronics, my camera gear, and all of that is going to fit in my backpack. Didn't go according to plan. Did not. Fortunately, no issues on the flight. The Wi-Fi was pretty terrible. Got into Miami pretty quickly.
Here in Miami, made it. Hoping for a great trip. Heading to baggage claim. I was really trying not to, but didn't work out this time.
It was a trek, as I thought it would be, to get to baggage claim. Like, the airport is pretty big. It's like you had to go up an escalator, down an escalator. I think you took like a shuttle train. Then you got off at baggage claim. You had to go like down another escalator, out some doors. Then it's like you get there and it's like the baggage carousels are there, but they're like, carousel 2021 or whatever. Meanwhile, my stuff is on carousel, I think it was like 8 or 9, some number like that. So it's like I've got all this stuff and I've got to trek all the way over to this other baggage claim, get my stuff from there, the bags, but it's like it felt like it took forever. By the time I got there, the bags still weren't off the plane on the conveyor belt thing. So I'm standing there waiting, get my stuff. Now gotta head back over to this other side of the area, get on the elevator, take it upstairs.
Got my bag. Now headed to pick up my rental car. So I was really trying to get out of here quickly, but I ended up having to check my bag. But still not the end of the world.
So the rental place, get up there, and I'm like, finally, I'm gonna be able to get my rental car and get out of here. Not so fast.
The rental car place that I've gone with, they're like a little bit away from the airport.
So I had to go outside, keeping in mind, sweater, jeans, because it was cold in Atlanta, coat, which I'd taken off and wrapped around my bags. Had to get outside, get on this shuttle bus that had just left. So I'm now standing there baking in the Miami sun, waiting for the shuttle bus to come to take me to this off-site rental place. We get there, and it was like one person working, so very slow. He's like running out to check on the cars, coming in, dealing with the paperwork. It just felt like it took forever. And I was just there, just melting in this seemingly non-air conditioned room.
One eternity later.
And fortunately, after waiting, maybe it was probably a good like 20-30 minutes or something like that, another employee came in and she was able to help me pretty quickly, got my rental car, put my stuff in the trunk, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna change out of like my Atlanta clothes, the sweater and the long jeans, into my Miami clothes. So some shorts, t-shirt, get in the car, I'm changing my clothes in there. And I happen to look up and like my eyes meet the like rental car maintenance man's eyes. And the look of judgment, like I just like lowered my head and just continued changing because like the guy was looking at me like, what are you doing in the car? And it's like, I'm not in here playing with myself. I'm just like changing my clothes. So our eyes met and I was like, you know what? Let me just hurry up. I grabbed my sweater and my jeans, just ran around to the trunk of the car, threw the stuff in, hopped in, and I just drove out of there because I didn't need the judgment. And from there, I was now in Miami, music pumping, AC blasting, headed to Walmart to get some snacks. Why? Because when I travel, I've learned that I do not have patience in the morning. None. When I get up, a lot of times I'm like on the go when I'm at home. When I'm on vacation, I kind of want to have a somewhat slower morning. I like to be able to take my time. I try to be out of the hotel by 10. But I feel like if I leave the hotel at 10 to then have to go find somewhere to get breakfast, I'm not, getting going until a good 11:30. But if I get like just some simple breakfast stuff and keep it in the hotel room, I can kind of relax a little bit more. I can have a slower morning, and kind of ease my way into the day, but still get my day started relatively early. So with that, whenever I travel, stopped by Walmart, grabbed up a few things, some fruit, some bananas, some oatmeal, some water, and some tea. And so with that, I feel like I have the makings of a really good breakfast, as well as if I get back in the evening, I would have eaten dinner, but I get back in the evening and I want a little snack or something like that, I have some fruit in the fridge. So I felt like I was now well prepared for this vacation. Hopped in the car, drove over the bridge from Miami proper, downtown Miami, to Miami Beach. Nice drive. We had like the palm trees and all this kind of stuff. It was a nice vibe. Music pumping, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of reggae, just driving. And it was like, I feel like I'm officially on vacation now. I'm feeling great. I'm relaxed and whatnot. Everything hasn't worked out according to plans, but we're here, we're doing well. I had accounted for it that, the press conference doesn't start until, doors don't open until 5:30. My plane is going to land like around 1. Hopefully I could be out of the airport by like 1:30 and on my way. I'd have a few hours to stop by Walmart, to get some lunch, to get over to the hotel and drop my bags off and whatnot, and it'd be smooth sailing. So I got held up by the airport, which then meant that I got to the hotel a little bit late, which wasn't the end of the world because the hotel check-in didn't start until 4 p.m. And, as long as I have smooth sailing checking in, I can still get something to eat, and then I'll head on over to the press conference. Fortunately, got to the hotel, had some issues there. More on that later. But let's get into the most important thing, the press conference.
At the Fillmore and Miami Beach. Fortunately, just like maybe a 10-minute drive or so from my hotel. Had some mishaps with my hotel, so it kind of delayed me a little bit, but things are moving. Unlike the last two events I've been to are open to the public. Here for the show. So here we're in the crowd, third fight. This is the first one in America I've been to, so nice to switch it up. But it's getting ready to start now.
In beautiful Miami Beach, Florida. We are 48 hours away from the return of the one and only Anthony Joshua!
If I'm planning to watch from home, then I always watch the fight week events for the Anthony Joshua fight. If I'm going to see the fight in person, I always fly in early enough so I can at least attend a few days of the pre-fight events, just because they help to get you amped up for the fight. Press conference is a press conference. Typically, these aren't open to the public, but this one was. So it was definitely a cool experience to be sitting in the audience, speaking with other spectators about, how they thought the fight might go, and also to then see the fighters come on stage. In this case, both the undercard and the main card fighters were on stage at the same time, which actually led to some pretty interesting exchanges. Much of it was your typical stuff from the press conference between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. Is much of what was covered in the press conference when the fight was announced, just with some of the questions now geared towards the concerns that people had regarding the fight. I was really excited and looking forward to seeing Caroline Dubois, who currently is my favorite female boxer. Knew a little bit about Alicia Baumgardner, but not much. Really just became aware of her from her exchange a while back with Clarissa Shields. But I did think it was pretty interesting to see the exchange between the two female fighters. So while excited for the Jake Paul-Anthony Joshua fight, there were some other fights on the card that I was interested in seeing on this fight card. But then given the exchange with Caroline Dubois and Alicia Baumgardner, I am now actually very interested to see how that develops if that fight ends up coming about, because I think with both of them being good boxers, that could be another exciting matchup. So, and this is why I like to watch the fight week events and why I like to watch the undercard fights, because it kind of sets the stage for things that might be coming in the future. It's a great opportunity to see upcoming boxers who are a bit earlier in their career, not maybe at the headliners for events. So all of this like pre-fight stuff, it helps to get all of that amped up, not just for the current fight, but for fights that might come in the future. I just want to pause here to say that in the time since the fight, unfortunately, Cena and Latz, two of Anthony Joshua's friends and trainers, have since passed away. Didn't know them on a deep personal basis or anything like that, but rather just met them in passing at fight week events. I met Cena at the press conference, and he was quite nice enough to take a few minutes to snap a photo with me. We had like a very brief exchange where I asked him for the photo, and he's like, "Oh, why would you want to take a photo with me?" I'm like, "Nobody." I was like, "Well, I know you from like social media and whatnot." And this was basically the start of the conversation that I had when I met Latz last year at the weigh-in for the Dubois fight. Both of them very kind, nice, down-to-earth people. And it's this great event, positive vibes and whatnot. Just less than 2 weeks later to then hear that he'd passed away, it was very, very jarring and very upsetting. I can only imagine for their friends, family members, loved ones that knew and interacted with them on a daily basis, what a shock and how devastating this might be. So I just want to pause here to sincerely offer my condolences to the family of both Cena, Latz, and wish Anthony Joshua a speedy recovery.
So press conference is done. It's cool to be able to sit in and see it live. Previously, they haven't been open to the public, so you watch it on YouTube. But cool to be here to see it in person, kind of to soak up the vibes and whatnot. So another facet to the fight week experience.
Roy Jones Jr. was kind enough to stop to take a photo with me on his way out, so that was pretty cool.
Can I exit out this way? Thank you. Enjoy your night. It comes flights now, but I'm gonna take the rest of it back to the hotel. I just wanted to give you an idea of what it looks like. So, nice little pizza situation here. It's basically like flat pizza. It's not wood-fired oven, but they put it in like a nice little hot oven. I got the regular crust with, I did spicy tomato with half and half. Half spicy tomato, half pesto with pepperoni, olives. I can't really eat mozzarella, so I did goat cheese, which I didn't know that that was considered a topping rather than one of their base cheeses. It made it a little bit more expensive. So I was just looking for something inexpensive in the area that I could get that would be kind of quick, that if need be, I could eat some of it now because I didn't get to eat lunch. But if need be, I could take it back to the hotel. So there we go. Give it a try. Oh, thank you. So the crust is certainly crisp, nice crispness to the bottom of it, but at the same time, you get like the best of both worlds because the top of it is nice and fluffy. Nice chew to it. Like the bottom of it is nice and like crispy, but it's just like a very, very thin layer. Like if you look at it, it's just the very, very bottom of it that's crisp. The rest of it is nice and light and airy. That's the spicy tomato sauce side of it, which I like spice. The mileage might vary, so that side is actually perfect for me. Because for the condiments that I added on is I got some red pepper flakes, some garlic powder, and a bit of Parmesan. So the red pepper flakes combined with the spicy pepperoni combined with the spicy tomato sauce. It's a combination of spiciness, which I actually like. And so now I'm going to try the pesto side. It's got like a nice little air bubble in there, so that tells you that the oven is nice and hot, that it was made in. So the pesto side is a little bit drier. I think they were like a little bit light with the sauce. So it's like kind of dried out a bit. It's just like the smallest, little tiniest hint of sauce on the pizza. It's enough to give you a nice taste of pesto. It's like earthy, herby. It's like a nice, fresh, earthy type flavor to it. Good. Great combination of flavors. I think I did well in picking the toppings. Kudos to me. We have like the nice, crispy crust. If anything, I would say maybe they could have put a little bit more sauce just to have like a little bit of richness. And you think of it like the acid of the tomato would help to cut through some of like the richness of the pepperoni and the cheese. But even with that, it's a nice combination of flavors and textures. I think it was a good choice. Flavor, nice texture. Worried a little bit about the but crispy, you don't actually get a lot of espresso. You more get like the cream and mocha. Yeah, it's not bunching the way lady fingers in there. There's a lot of cream. Finished getting some pizza. About to head back to the hotel. Take a shower. Relax for a bit. And hopefully still make it to bed at a reasonable time. Usually when I go on these trips, I bring my my Roku box with me so I could like watch Netflix. I forgot some things that I would normally pack. It's just about 10 o'clock now. And the fortunate thing is that like my hotel is like centrally located. It's not a traditional hotel, it's more like a boutique hotel. And I don't understand how this works where it's like check-in starts at 4, but no one is at the desk after 4. So now I will say I think the area is like relatively safe, but the parking garage, as many parking garages, it's like kind of desolate, and there's a lot of reserved parking spaces on the lower level. So myself, for example, I had to park on level 3. So just be aware of that. Taking the elevator down, it looks like a parking garage elevator. I didn't even bother with the stairs. Then we have the hotel room. You walk in and it's pretty much everything all in one. It's sleek and modern, very clean looking. I've kind of like I had to just drop my stuff off. So you have like a little coffee machine, some cups, creamer, some Biscoff cookies and whatnot. Quite a few extra outlets. Nice big flat screen. You got a few windows. Nope, not a balcony, but a nice big window. If you look past the parking lot, you've actually got a nice decent view. Some of the hotel rooms have balconies, but this isn't one of them, which is fine with me, not a big deal. Nice big bed. There are options for king size beds, but I felt the queen size bed was fine. We've got some closet space here. It looks like an iron, some drawers. I don't like unpack my clothes to that degree because I'm just going to be here for a few days. Nice bathroom, double vanity, some towels down there, some toilet paper. They provide you with some soap and cream, which is good. You got a shower with some shampoo, conditioner, some shower gel. So pretty good. Some lights for the shower area. And here we have the bathroom, the toilet, and a little closet by itself. Nice little mirror. So it's a decent hotel room. You know, it looks nice and clean. And most importantly, it's quiet. Yeah, the only thing is that downstairs you have the main door and then there's a side entrance because there's like a cafe and whatnot that's open to the public. I would think like there should be some kind of door or something where it's like guest access only, just not, you know, from a safety perspective. So, you know, no like random people can just walk in off the street. You do have like the front door, which has like a security lock and whatnot, but I feel that would just be like a nice extra measure. Like the little pathway that you have where you would walk in like to the actual hotel area, I just feel like that should have a gate that like, you know, closes after hours or something like that, so that only guests can come up into the actual hotel. But, you know, it's not the
Thanks for tuning in. To ensure you don't miss any episodes, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, go ahead and click that thumbs up button if you like what you saw, and go ahead and share it on social media.